The 2020 Knox County graduations are brought to you by Enrichment Federal Credit Union, Food City, Pellissippi State, and WVLT.
Now welcome to the stage Yoon Kim.
Good evening. On behalf of the students and staff of Farragut High School, I would like to welcome you to the Class of 2020 Commencement Ceremony. Today's ceremony marks 4 years of hard work, dedication, and commitment. We are grateful to you for being here today to celebrate their achievement. At this time, would everyone please stand for the presentation of colors by the Farragut High School Navy JROTC Color Guard. Please remain standing for the national anthem and the tolling of the bell. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Chris Blue. You may remember me from being season 12 winner of The Voice on NBC, but I'm just another guy who loves you and want to see you do well in life. I want to take a moment to congratulate you, yes, you, all of the graduates for graduating this year and going on to do bigger and better things with your life. Please know that I'm praying for you and that I truly, truly believe in you, and I believe the hard work and your ethic, your work ethic, has gotten you to this point, and it'll take you much, much further. Now, I'm here to do something special for you guys, and that is the Star-Spangled Banner, which is one of the hardest songs on the planet. So I hope we do it well. Here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? Congratulations, guys.
A bell is sounded as a call for help and for a sailor to maintain his or her station. Another bell is sounded when the threat has ended and personnel are to return to quarters. The tolling of the bell is also a means of sending a fallen friend to their final resting place. At this time, we request a moment of silence as we toll the bell in honor of our troops who are stationed all over the world and to honor the memory of all who have been called home. Thank you. Please be seated.
Every year, Farragut High School recognizes one outstanding teacher that she has just done a fabulous job. She touches lives in ways that all of our teachers do, in ways that no one knows. But I was able to watch this award winner this year make an impact on many of you graduates. Some of you would not be here if it wasn't for her making sure you had your homework done, you were taking care of your business with each teacher, and you were doing your very best. This year, the Excellence in Teaching Award goes to Miss Tiffany Johnson. Please welcome to stage Logan Stockham.
Good evening, Dr. Bartlett, Mayor Jacobs, friends, family, faculty, and the senior student body of Farragut High School. Before me is a very large group of academic scholars that 4 years ago were wide-eyed, nervous, unsure about what the future had in store for them. Just like now. In that time, we were met with stress, anxiety, sleep deprivity, more stress, and pressure. Fortunately, all of you here this evening in a cap and gown have made it and will walk across this stage to accept a diploma. What happens from here on out is a culmination of not what you've just learned in the past 4 years, but the past 18 to 19 years. Those nights of staring at chemistry and algebra textbooks all amount to what the future has in store for you. Sometime between later this evening, 2 weeks from now, or even 2 months ago, it will hit you like a wall that is indeed all over. This past fall, I took off my football helmet for the very last time. A few moments later, when I realized that it was indeed all over, I cried like a toddler. Those memories, good and bad, are now a major building block of my life and your lives and can never be altered. In the words of the Tears for Fears song, "Everybody Wants to Rule the World," welcome to your life. There's no turning back. While these years were filled with anxiety and stress, don't forget we all experience happiness, friendship, excitement, and in some cases, unfortunately, did not apply to me, first love. Those cold nights at football games, those warm pink sky evenings for when you stayed late for sports or other activities, and waiting for the tweet from Knox County Schools that, out of an abundance of caution, school had been canceled due to snow or rain. And then, of course, hitting that pothole in the junior lot, racing out on a Friday afternoon. If you've ever seen the final episode of The Office, you'll know that Andy says, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." At some point in our lives, we will all look back in this moment and wish we were here in the good old days. This school year, we accepted a new principal, Dr. John Bartlett, who has done an absolutely astounding job. This man has done an absolutely astounding job, refreshing not just the physical aspect of the school, but the moral one as well. Blank white walls were replaced with ones with artful murals, and inspirational quotes are now in no short supply. So if you ever need to write a motivational speech, just walk in the front door and you got about 4 pages worth in front of you. This man has blessed us with his vision, and it's unfortunate for us seniors that he was late to the party. Thank you, Dr. B, and all the wonderful faculty and staff that help us get to this point. Our student section this year, the Calabo Crazies, was led by seniors Adam Fuller, Garrett Howe, and Alexis Massengill, who did an absolutely fantastic job packing the football stadium, cramming the basketball stands, and filling the hill. That senior rock out front has never looked so good, and I often wonder just how many layers of paint are on that thing. It's thick. While we may be sad for a while that these good old days are over, we persist. This great, great country of ours will provide us all with opportunities, and it is up to us to seize them. All that time of work, good or bad, was to reach a port. We are a Navy-themed school, with David Glasgow Farragut being the very first admiral in the United States Navy, so a ship-themed quote would be fitting. FDR said, "To reach a port, we must sail. Sail, not tie at anchor. Sail, not drift." To put that in the context of us soon-to-be former high school students, we must not dwell on any moment, good or bad, to define us. Our goals define us, and any bump along the way was just a small storm our ships passed through. And then, all right, let's finish this thing once and for all these months later. Thank you, and the best is still yet to come.
Please welcome to stage Miss Jessie Yang.
Sorry, guys, I'm a little shorter than Logan. Okay, do I start whenever? Okay. Good evening, family, friends, loved ones. I thank each and every one of you here with us tonight, whether you're showing your support from afar or if you've been here with us the whole time. It is an extreme honor to speak to this amazing student body in front of me and to the people who have shaped them into who they are today. While this is nothing like any of us could have imagined, I sincerely thank you on behalf of the entire class of 2020. Thank you to all the faculty and staff for not only opening our minds and deepening our intellectual curiosities, but also for providing us mentorship and listening ears, even though it's not explicitly stated in the job description. Thank you for providing us a place where we know we're taken care of and where we matter. Sitting in the audience my freshman year, I dreamed of the day I would walk this stage and share my story. Now that it's here, it feels almost surreal. To any freshmen in the audience this year, I didn't believe it either, but 4 years really do fly by. However, today is not about my story, but about ours, the class of 2020. So sit back, relax, and reminisce with me. To come full circle with the end of our journey, I'd like to start at the beginning, the ABCs. Going all the way back to kindergarten, it was our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s that started it all. Already, we began having the year 2020 imprinted into our brains with too many 2020 vision jokes to count. Not that we could count very well at that point. As we grew older and, in theory, more mature, letters were assembled into words, and these words linked into sentences. When these sentences slowly and dreadfully became integrated into essays with too many pages to count, we also began writing our own high school stories, motivated and shaped largely by our classes and peers. Most of our high school stories at Farragut began as mere freshmen, roaming the halls lost, not knowing where in the world Purple Wing was or whether there was a way to get to the pool on the roof. Spoiler alert, we never found either. The road to graduation seemed long, and yet we were only at the beginning. Sophomore year was like a time warp. Is it bad I barely remember anything that happened? Just when you think you've finally figured it out, things somehow get harder and you still don't know how to deal with them. Junior year marked the halfway point. We began wondering if early onset senioritis was a thing and seemed to be plagued constantly by tests and activities. We saw our senior friends get into colleges one by one and leave, reminding ourselves that we would be next. Finally, we became seniors. Perhaps still not knowing exactly how to read literature like a professor or being able to remember the quadratic formula off the top of our heads. This is when we found out how bad senioritis could actually get. To all the underclassmen out there, it's not a myth. And to all my senior year teachers, I'm sorry, and I swear we were once good students with motivation. This year was definitely not the easiest year of high school, as many of us had been told. We faced uncertainties, disappointments, and situations we could have never prepared for, starting with college applications and now with all the changes that the coronavirus has brought. We didn't get to have the typical senior experience with prom and fun trips, but we still made it here together. We are now a key part of history, graduating amidst a global pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement. And it is in times like these that we must stick together and look towards the future. Now that we've come to the end of our chapter in high school, it feels bittersweet to turn the page and begin a new one. However, remember the end of this chapter is not the end of our stories. Along the lines of our naval roots, FDR once said, "To reach a port, we must sail. Sail, not tie at anchor. Sail, not drift." While not all of us will continue writing essays for school, lucky them, we must all choose to continue writing our own stories, neither tied down in the past nor aimlessly drifting without a plan. I leave you with 2 pieces of advice for this task. 1, make your story impactful. When we think of making an impact, we often think we have to change the world or cure cancer. However, impact only has to make a difference to someone, somewhere. Then ask yourself what kind of impact your story makes and whether it is one you are proud to leave. In doing so, never lose sight of the personal values that drive you from within, for these will be what people remember you by. 2, make your story intentional and meaningful. Write a story not about what others tell you to write, but one that you want to write and one that you would want to read. Write a story that leaves a mark on others, but more importantly, means something to yourself. While I'm unfortunately not psychic, nor do I have 20/20 vision, I wear contacts, by the way, I do know that the future lies within each and every one of our stories. Whether it's finding cures for diseases, traveling the world or universe, honorably serving our country, and everything in between, I know we will be the ones to go out and make our dreams come true. So continue to write your story with intention, make it impactful, and most of all, be the one to hold the pen and write it yourself. To conclude, I'd like to take it back to the ABCs again. A simpler time for us all, I'm sure. A is for apple, B is for ball, and C is for our class of 2020. Congratulations, everyone.
So I'm confused, Jessie. Coach Dodgen told me about that pool. I've been looking for it ever since. Now welcome to the stage, Miss Lacy Hatfield.
Good evening. Welcome, family, parents, community members, and distinguished guests. My name is Lacy Hatfield, and I've had the privilege of serving your students this year as their curriculum principal. As the class of 2020 has transitioned through their 4 years of high school, they have learned to persevere in challenging circumstances, they have learned how to balance their priorities, and now they will learn how to navigate the next phase of their lives. The class of 2020 is truly exceptional. There are 13 National Merit finalists, 13 National Merit semi-finalists, and 2 students distinguished for the National Hispanic Recognition Program. Tonight, we would like to honor 3 specific students. Farragut High School's top students have never shied away from rigorous academic coursework, taking as many honors, advanced placement, and college courses as their schedule would allow. The varied coursework has enabled each student to find his or her academic interest and strengths. All 3 students have also participated in Farragut High community, becoming strong and capable leaders. This year, we have co-salutatorians. We would first like to recognize Mr. Prajwal Jagadish. Prajwal, please come to the stage. Prajwal served as the president of the Science Club and competed all 4 years in the Science Bowl, winning a state championship in 2018. Additionally, he competed on Team 3140 Flagship for the first robotics competition. He has taken 19 advanced placement courses along with 5 dual enrollment courses, completing his senior year with over a 4.7 weighted GPA. In his spare time, Prajwal serves as a first responder cadet with Knox County Rescue Squad. This fall, Mr. Jagadish is planning to attend Duke University and study biomedical engineering. Our next co-salutatorian is Ms. Jessie Yang. Jessie, please come to the stage. During her 4 years at Farragut High School, Jessie founded and served as president of Girl Up. She was a president of HOSA, served as a member of the Student Government Association, the Freshman and New Students Committee, Mu Alpha Theta, and the National Honor Society. She has taken 22 advanced placement courses and 4 dual enrollment courses, completing her senior year with an over 4.7 weighted GPA. Additionally, Jessie is an avid volunteer of her time to a variety of community organizations, and I've also been told she bakes an excellent macaroon. Miss Jessie Yang will attend the University of Pennsylvania. Our valedictorian for the class of 2020 is Miss Alicia Soni. Alicia, please come to the stage. Alicia has served on the Student Government Association, National Spanish Honor Society, HOSA, and National Honor Society. She has taken 24 advanced placement courses along with 4 dual enrollment courses, completing her senior year with over a 4.7 weighted GPA. Ms. Soni has been involved in several community-based programs, including an internship at Beardsley Community Farm, all while holding a job at Chick-fil-A. Alicia will attend the University of Southern California in the fall on a full scholarship and plans to major in environmental science. Congratulations to our top 3 and to all of our class of 2020 graduates. It's now my honor to introduce Dr. Bartlett.
Before we get started, y'all just thought we got started, right? I do need to thank for Knox County Schools, Chris Blue, for pre-recording the national anthem. He did that on his own, and we sure do appreciate him doing that. So before we proceed, I'd like to take some time to recognize a few people. If you are a parent or grandparent of one of our graduates, please stand. Students, while your parents are standing, please stand up and give them an applause. Thank you. If you are a teacher or principal who had one of our graduates in elementary or middle school, please stand. We fully recognize that education is a pre-K through 12 adventure and journey, and we could not do at the high school what we do without the elementary and middle school teachers and administrators. If you have served at Farragut High School as an administrator or teacher and you're retired or no longer working at Farragut High School, please stand. We'd like to recognize you. We also recognize that what we do, we stand on shoulders of giants. People have come before us that have laid a foundation, and we appreciate them. Now, if you are one of the great professionals, part of the greatest educational staff in the county at Farragut High School, please stand. Thank you. I'd like to recognize a few retiring teachers. We have 3 retirees this year. First is Coach, and he's coached softball and volleyball and done a lot of other things, plus taught most of Farragut how to drive. Coach David Moore, will you please stand? Thank you, Coach. That's either good or bad. They got red light cameras everywhere. I'm not sure that she's able to make it, but this was 2020 marked the last year Wanda Lacy as a teacher at Farragut High School. Of course, she comes back and visits us. But Wanda, if you're here, please stand. If not, let's give her a round of applause. She'll hear it at the home. And also not able to join us, but somebody that works behind the scenes at Farragut High School, Miss Tracy Moore is retiring school registrar. Students, now it's your turn. If you are one of the 13 National Merit finalists, please stand. If you've received any other award from National Merit, please stand and remain standing. Thank you. Students, if you've completed over 20 hours of community service during your high school career, please stand. Thank you. If you have earned any industry certification, such as CIW, Microsoft Office, or any other industry certification, please stand. Thank you. If you have been notified that you are qualified or are receiving the Tennessee Hope Scholarship, please stand. There's a lot more than that. There's a lot more of you than that. If you plan on using the Tennessee Promise Scholarship at Pellissippi State or one of our community colleges, please stand. Thank you. And students, if you've received any other type of scholarship, whether it be community-based or school-based, please stand. Thank you. This year, we have several students that will be attending one of the United States Service Academies. Please stand and be recognized if you received an appointment to the Service Academies. Congratulations. If you've taken the challenge and made the commitment to serve and defend all of us in the United States military, please stand. Thank you. Given the challenging times, I hope you'll forgive me if I don't choose to keep it light and kind of fluffy tonight. This may be my last chance to talk in front of you as an educator, and I want to take full advantage of that fact. And really, you're a captive audience. It has been said that those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. But we can choose to turn this phrase on its head and be inspired to repeat the actions that produce the greatest achievements of history. On June 5th, 1944, Tens of thousands of young men prepared to cross the English Channel and fight a historic battle for freedom. The U.S. Commander, General Dwight D. Eisenhower, stated, "The eyes of the world are upon you." It was just not the eyes of the world that were upon these young men, but the eyes of history. They were being asked to launch one of the largest amphibious invasions in history. None of them knew exactly what they would face when they jumped from those boats into that water on that fateful day. They did know if they would see. Didn't know if they'd see another sunrise. Yet they did what was asked of them. They persisted, and they helped turn the world's path toward freedom. Many of those young men and women were 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20-year-old young men. In the decades before these soldiers answered the call to fight tyranny in Europe and in Asia, their ancestors had freed the slaves and helped women secure the right to vote. Years after World War II, brave souls marched for civil rights, daring to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge, named after a grand dragon of the KKK, and persisted in their quest even when they were viciously attacked. Before some of you were even born, your parents' generation stared down those who believed they could destroy our nation by flying planes into buildings. Among those gathered today, I guarantee there are a lot of different opinions about what's going on in the world. In the past months, your senior year was upended by a historic pandemic. One of the greatest historic pandemic. And there's still widely varied views on how to stop and act and take care of that. One of the greatest freedoms we enjoy in the United States is the right to disagree and speak freely about our disagreements and the actions of our leaders. Our nation's founding fathers wrote, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union." A perfect union is not a point in time that must only be achieved only once, but a moving target that must be continually protected and refashioned. It strikes me that your generation is to be successful in continuing to overcome history's challenges and move our country and society forward. Several important qualities must be developed. First, preparation. Preparation for whatever comes is crucial. History is made by ordinary people who applied their skills and talents to accomplish something extraordinary. And you can never predict what history will call you to do. At this point, you've received a high school education that is second to none. But today's graduation ceremony should be viewed as merely a beginning point. We as a nation, as a society, cannot afford for you to let your skills atrophy. We need you to never stop working to learn, do more, and make sure you are prepared for that moment in history when you are called to join to help our society become more just, more free, more equal, and more healthy. Second, you must possess the character to stand for what is right, even when it is not popular. Such character requires cultivating compassion for the struggles of others, even if you are not negatively affected by their harsh reality. Many people before you have seen the world as it was. Imagine what it might become and did the long, hard work to create that reality. Third, Preparation, character, and compassion must be paired with courage to act. Merely having strong convictions is not nearly enough. To lead, you must be brave. You must be brave enough to act upon those convictions, not only to improve your own situation, but to look at others and value them more than you value yourself and seek to improve their life. I'm reminded of the famous quote attributed to Martin Niemöller. First they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Leadership requires speaking for those whose voices is not as powerful as yours, or whose voices have been silenced. You may feel as if you're not able to make your voice heard, especially when our country seems so divided. You may feel entitled to throw up your hands and declare that you'll never be able to make a change. Things are just the way they are. You might particularly be deterred from becoming involved in the process when other people's views and values seem just totally wrong to you. But while we can achieve some progress on our own, we make far greater gains by working together. In his famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, Stephen Covey says this: seek first to understand and then to be understood. Many times, absolutely certain they are thinking superior, we do the opposite, passionately pleading for others to change their ideas to align with ours. But I have found, when I stop and listen, truly valuing others and their opinions, I find a greater appreciation and tolerance for different points of view. Relationships are solidified and we're able to work together to solve big problems. And your generation must solve big problems. Seeking to understand as a first step lays the foundation for compromise to reach common ground. There comes a point when every generation must pass the torch to the next group that will lead us. When you were young, you probably remember playing a game called tag. You chased after each other and tagged each other. And they were it. And you ran away. And they ran around to tag somebody else. Don't worry, my generation is not yet ready to leave the game. But as you graduate today, I want you to know you're now it. It is your preparation, your courage to act, your character and compassion, and your willingness to seek to understand that will shape and guide the future. Like an Eisenhower told those young men on June 5th, 1944, I'm telling you now, the eyes of the world are upon you. Please know, we love you. We are cheering for you. We have your back. Tag, you're it. Mr. Thomas and Ms. Horn, members of the board and distinguished guests, these members of the class of 2020 have worked hard over the past 4 years to amass the credits necessary to earn a diploma from Knox County Schools and Farragut High School. That is why it's with great pleasure that I present the class of 2020 to you for recognition. Having examined and confirmed all available records, the students gathered here today are eligible and worthy to receive their diplomas from Knox County Schools. Mr. Thomas and Ms. Horn, I present to you the students of Farragut High School class of 2020. Y'all want to come down here? We didn't practice. First row, let's go.
Alicia Soni. Prajwal Pragadish. Jessie Yang. Yu-Chung Kim. Aroni Baduri. Barish Baduri. Fabrice Gomez. Logan Stockham. Cade Abbott. Dalen Christine Adams. Keegan James Adderman. Ayla Ali Alkfash.
Ida Alexis Albana. McKenna Suzanne Alden. Alton Richard Alexander. Connor Jacob Allen. Rebecca Mackenzie Amon. Shelby Elena Ammons. Isaiah Joseph Arrington. Catherine Rose Ash. Ryan Kenneth Atwood. Varsha Suresh Babu. Akshay Bakshi. Aditya Ball. Jordan Brian Banks.
Good, you keep up with the counting, that helps. Okay. Nicole Marie Barberi. Alexis Kimberly Barnes. Nettie Barat. Aiden Christopher Barrett. Caleb Anthony Bigney. Adam Waylon Burkholtz. Tyler Renaud Blair. Brittany Dawn Boatman. Brenna Nicole Bosick. Saloni Amir Bogani. Shazad Salim Bagani.
11.
Heather Teresa Bohan. Chloe Lynn Bohannon.
Caitlin Elizabeth Bowling. Nicholas Todd Bollinger. Emily Baumgarter Bonanno. Mackenzie Nielsen Bond, Ryan Christopher Bowen, Patrick Brian Bauer, Taylor Ridge Bowers, Matthew Dillman Bowling, Katerina Elena Brecken, Aaron Alexandria Briggs, Vincent Gregory Broda, Joseph Michael Brooks,
Addison Nicole Brown, Molly Reese Brown, Michaela Danielle Bruton, Gabriella Isabel Bueckley, Anthony Douglas Buffington, Allison Nicole Bunch, Abigail Ray Burdine, Frankie James Bucarino, Cohen Michael Berger, Taylor Nicole Burkhart, Ariane Elise Bryant Burt, Blaine Sheridan Bouchon, Benjamin Joel Buslovich, Griffin Marie Butler, Mackenzie Irene Bird,
Parker Ron Bird, Aden Cabrera, Lydia Abigail Carreras, Ainsley Michael Carrier, Thomas Patrick Kerrigan II, Leah Nicole Carter, Alexa Michelle Castillo, Hallie Joyce Castor, Hunter Christian Kaywood, Titus Andrew Chapman, Mason Stewart Chase, Forrest Morgan Chin,
Regis Nelson Chennett, Joseph Thomas Martin Clune, Catherine Hope Coffey, Abigail Michelle Cole, Catherine Elizabeth Cole, Kaylin Reese Coleman, Avery Grace Collins, Rachel Uziel Constantine, Ethan Matthew Corbett, Anya Elizabeth Cordell, Michaela Brooke Cornelius, Alexis Blake Cozy, Emma Grace Covington, Jacob Christopher Kresge, Trey Michael Croy, Ashley Neuhang Dai, Kaijin Daniel, Benjamin Leonard Darden, Ethan Kennedy Davila, Amanda Leanne Davis,
Andrew Ryan Dean, Matthew Jaden Delph, Aiden Christopher Duker, Brylan Marie Dickey, Haley Nicole Dietz, Rebecca Merrill Dorr, John Michael Donnell, Aaron Benjamin Dozier. Jeremy Haley Driver. Madison Mackenzie Dooley. Drew Isabella Duncan. John Robert Dyer.
Joshua Leon Ebert. Dylan Brooks Edrada. Grace Whitney Edwards. Parker Thomas Edwards. Sarah Lila Eladwe. Hannah Osama El Sahid El Masidi. Robert Dayton Anderson. Amy Pujai Enegi. Nathaniel Houston Erstberger. Kaysen Reynolds Estes. John Douglas Estes. Journey Olivia Estes. George Delelis Evans. Caden Taylor Farley. Lauren Ellis Favier. Jacob Daniel Feehan. Ashley Maddie Ferguson.
Isabella Grace Farmant. Audrey Grace Floyd. Jackson Kelly Fontenot. Javon Lamar Jatavius Ford. Alexandria Marie Forrest. Zachary Lee Faust. Dylan Thomas Hans Frankenstein. Zachary Thomas Fronzik. Adam Michael Fuller.
Congratulations.
Catherine Delaney Foltz. Tiana Desiree Gallagher. Samantha Garcia. Sarah Josephine Garner. Robert Christian Geron. I did it.
Andrew Ryan Gibbons. Carter Michael Gillett. Cameron Marie Given. Jonathan Immerhen Gulagu. Regine Megan Gomez. Andrea Patricia Gonzalez. Joshua Cade Good. Kennedy Blake Gore. Chad William Gould Jr. Colton Gregg II. Rihanna Rashay Grant. Tiana Rianne Grant. Abigail Lee Green. Isabella Catherine Griffiths. Scott Allen Greenow. Alan Gwillen. Chloe Elizabeth Kowalski. Ryan Matthew Hagenow. Natalie Marie Hagood. Dylan Christopher Halliburton.
Logan Alexander Hargreaves. Kyra Joy Harmon. Emma Caroline Harry. Isabel Margaret Hartley. Avery Quinn Hathaway. Timothy Daniel Gabriel Hayes. Anna Catherine Haynes. Nathan Patrick Hennessy. Gabriel Allen Hensley. Taylor Nicole Higginbotham. Susanna Jane Hill. Kenny Mingji Hong. Carolyn Grace Choi Hobbs.
Madison Lee Hodge. Isabella Maria Hoffman. Lewis Henry Holmes IV. Caleb Grant Hopkins. Cassandra Marie Horwich. Jasa Abriana Ho. Garrett Matthew Howe. Joshua Tyler Howell. Harrison Heath Hoyt. Zibu Hu. Sarah Huang. Brianna Nicole Huseman. Madison Elizabeth Hullett. Tana Lee Hunt. Madison Lee Herwin. Marie Hannah Irwin. Joshua Charles Jarnigan.
Mallory Elizabeth Jasper. Eli Reed Jessie. Okoye Romo Johnson. David Bryce Johnson. Haley Elizabeth Johnson. Isabella Margaret Johnson. Gabriel Santana Jones. Chelsea Lynn Judy. Erin Elizabeth Kale. Alec Ryan Keithley. Sydney Kate Kellogg. Mackenzie Renee Elaine Kempton. Alexander Goodman Kessel.
Aaliyah Aziz Karani. Gracie Elizabeth Kidd. Jacob Alexander King. Riley Lakin King. Catherine York Klenska. Hannah Elizabeth Koshansky. Nicholas Maxwell Kolstead. Zachary Covington Kohler. Peter Luke Komistek. Luke Patoint Kronzer. Julianne Elizabeth Kachera. Robert Trey Wayne Larkin III. Madeline Elizabeth Lacy. Anna Clara Lamuth. Emily Michelle LaRose. Anna Gabriella Franca Laurenti.
Nicholas Alden LeBlanc. Emma Alexandria LeClaire. Eugene Woojeen Lee. Grace Kim Lee. Nicole Lee. Rosalind Danielle Leggett. Dulce Esperanza Leon. Jacob Cole Lauchuk. Benjamin Thomas Lewis. Daniel Way Lee. Abigail Jen Lynn. Emily Ray Lynn. Lindsay Ryan Lingenfelter.
Megan Elizabeth Lynn. Emily Cassandra Letrakis. Jackson Dean Longmire. Lauren Overton Loveday. Kaylee Alyssa Lovelace. Sean Robbins Lowe. Sean Riley Lum. Trinity Grace Lumen. Sophia Renee Luna. Anna Peyton Lynn. Anthony Joseph Lyons. Vivian Ashley Lyons. Hayden Fletcher Mabry. Cole Allen Mock. Natalie Ann McGill.
Gabriella Mahota Kuche. Humail Akhtar Malik. Mahum Zainab Malik. Saish Maluri. Bailey Michelle Manifold. Matthew Tyler Mann. John Lewis Manishmit. Matthew Mehran Mansour. Naya Camille Marasigan. Benjamin Garcia Margulies. Olivia Nicole Marsh. Ainsley Blake Martin.
Alex Ryan Martinez. Isabella Claire Mascaretti. Alexis Grace Massengill. Mary Margaret Grace Massengill. Jessica Lee Matheson. Ava Lee Ma. Caitlin Sophia Jacqueline McLaren. Blake David McClellan. Joshua Tyler McHugh. Evan Lee McFerrin. Brendan Wade McLeod. Austin Robert Meadows. Hayden Paul Metzelder. Diana Midvigi. Nathan Ryan Miller. Ankit Hemantukar Mystery. Shivan Jimakar Mystery.
Caden Tyler Moore. James Connor Montgomery. McKenna Valerie Montrose. Anna Ivanetta Moore. Abigail May Morgan. Jacob Isaac Morgan. Cora Elizabeth Morris. Janine Renee Morris. Amber Faith Moy. Bailey Love Moy. Raylan Hope Moy. Scott Allen Moyers Jr. Patience Renee Mullins. Nolan Thomas Murr.
Savannah Grace Murray. Madeline Noel Mustard. Bailey Christina Myers. Isabel Cyan Nelson. Gregory Tatum New. Caroline Grace Noble. Keegan Jace Nolan. Carolyn Matheson Noel. Jaden Mackenzie Oliver. Frank Morario Orico. Terrence Andre Osorio. Hayden James Ott. Jody Wade Overcash Jr. Callie Nicole Overcash.
James Noah Pack. Abigail Marie Palmer. Elijah Lynn Palmer. Sloan Carrick Palmer. Amara Ann Pappas. James Gray Parker. Nathaniel Hale Parsons. Andrew Michael Patterson. Grant Michael Patterson. Caitlin Ashley Paul. Abigail Ann Paxton. Joseph Dustin Paxton.
Kevin Richard Pierce. Austin Browning Percival. Benjamin Rutherford Pethel. Yashoda Bhavani Pillay. Joseph Robert Podel. Emma Grace Poindexter. Joshua William Povlin. Kyle Michael Presentation. Richard Roy Allen Proffert III. Anielska Prudence Quinlan. Nanindi Rana. Dawson Wexler Rawls. Sarah Angel Ray. Richard Allen Reagan Jr. Drake Emery Reed.
Christian Graham Reese. Raymond. Thank you. Gabriel Joshua Ryman. John Maxwell Rennick. Riso. Andrew Ramsey Riso. Redderer. Owen Timothy Redderer. Abigail Catherine Rhodes. Jackson Kimball Richardson. David Brant Ridner. Jessie Lee Rodriguez. Brandon Matthew Roick. Colin Preston Ross. Jennifer Allison Ross. Soroka. Aiden Frank Soroka. Abigail Sue Ann Saunders. Abigail Sue Ann Saunders. Connor Alexander Scarborough.
Rayleigh Alexandria Scarborough. Camilla Scatone Bedden. Christopher Clark Schechter. Darby Laurel Sheik. Kaylin Dakota Sholem. Ryan Austin Schrick. Ava Bellamy Schumacher. Jackson Kinsey Schumacher. Seth Jordan Scoggins. Dodge Gregory Sexton. Lucas Heaton Schaffner. Hunter James Shopovic. Grace Noel Simmerly. Gavin Thomas Slacum. Alia Hong Smith. Emily Cassandra Elizabeth Smith. Hannah Faye Smith.
Logan Wayne St. Clair. Braden Victoria Stanton. Cal Houston Stark. William Thomas Stevens. Yu Sun. Taylor Renee Sussman. Nicholas Brian Zooks. Baker McCormack Bergen Tankersley. Jillian Camilla Terry. Taylor Matthew Thomas. Macy Blake Tilley. Mia Lynn Timmerman. Kaylee Brianna Tooks. Julia Eva Tuttle. Nicholas Aaron Tebow. Austin Tran.
Connor Kearns Trainer. Garrett Edward Tucker. Abigail Lauren Vale. Hunter Gabriel Vandevin. Caleb Michael Vanacker. Mackenzie Lynn Vance. Ava Marie Vergara. Olivia Grace Parrott. Amy Grace Wagner. Sarah Bryant Walker. Kevin Wong. Kristen Sarah Waters. Lucy K. Watkins. Bailey Gannon Watson. Hannah Abigail Weber. Judah Zion White.
Lauren Diana White. Morgan Athena White. Kristen Renee Weens. Rebecca Michelle Wilhoit. Kiana Christina Wilkinson. Robert Gavin Wilkinson. Jacob Matthew Williams. Grant Woodard Wishman. Tyson Satchel Wood. Caitlin Cooper Woody. Jack Michael Rapp. Emily Claire Wyatt. Rurika Yamada.
Jake Edward Yavino. Jackson Garrett Zahn. Nicole Kati Zavoyko. Mary Elizabeth Zetterberg. Alice Bai Zhang. Weifeng Zhang. Benjamin Daniel Zybert. Indiana Ethan Johns.
You can see that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be the principal at Farragut High School. It's not written in the script, but many students came by and told me thank you. I need to tell you thank you. It has been my privilege this year. My only regret is it was cut short. I wish I had more time. But thank you. Thank you for being my first class at Farragut High School. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Y'all might want to sit down. I'm going to be a few seconds. This is almost done. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded." I'm proud of you, not for who you are, but for what you are going to become. The future is yours. Take it. Tag your it. Before we finish, parents, I have a few housekeeping things. Here in just a second, I'm going to have the students stand. We haven't practiced this, so I'm going to tell them what's going to happen. I'm going to have the students stand. I'm going to read something. I'm going to tell them to throw their hats, and it's all over. Class of 2020, you're free. Go change the world. With your newfound freedom, you're going to open those things we gave you, and you find out nothing's there. That's a cruel joke. We actually have your diplomas, but here's how you have to get them. So listen carefully. And when I say throw your hats, when Anchors Away plays, the first row is going to march out. And you're going to follow Mr. Armstrong, and he's going to give you your diploma. Parents, please meet your students on Lyndon Welch Drive. We will need to clear Lyndon Welch Drive in about 15 minutes for cars, so if you want to take pictures, you can come back in the stadium, take pictures, or go around campus and take pictures. We welcome that. Students, please stand. Students of the class of 2020, the turning of your tassels represents both the last step of your journey in high school and your first step on your next adventure. It is my honor, class of 2020, to ask you to take this last step and please turn your tassels. At the end of this next sentence, you let those hats fly. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Farragut High School class of 2020.
The 2020 Knox County graduations are brought to you by Enrichment Federal Credit Union, Food City, Pellissippi State, and WVLT.